Okay. Whew, Halloween 5, here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Cavern of Terror.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers stars Danielle Harris, Donald Pleasance, and is directed by Dominique O'Finnan-Girard. Try saying that 5 times fast. Revenge of Michael Myers picks up right after Halloween 4 ends. Michael is shown to have survived the attack by the Haddonfield police, and 1 year later, our story begins. The 4th sequel in the Halloween franchise starts with an interesting pumpkin intro. I believe it's a nice throwback to the original '78 film, Halloween 2, and even Halloween 3. It does a fantastic job at setting the tone. Part 5 to me has great set design. From the Hermit's house in the beginning of the film to the mental ward, I love these sets. In a lot of ways, this movie is bigger than the previous sequel. Making this world bigger just makes me invest even more in this franchise. Continuing with the sets in the production design, I know that the Myers house in Halloween 5 gets a bad rap. A lot of you don't like it. Okay, here we go. I couldn't help but like it. Dislike, unsubscribe. Wait. Hear me out, people. Looking back on the Halloween series, the Myers house has only been in 1 film prior to this. 11 years prior to this, to be exact. The house wasn't in 2, definitely wasn't in 3, and was ignored altogether in part 4. So why not try something new? With that being said, I like the design. Aesthetically, to me, it fits with the architecture that they set up in part 4. So the mask changes again. I'll admit it actually looked pretty great at times. But that might actually have to do with Don Shanks, and trust me, we will get to him. A lot of what makes me like this mask has to do with the lighting and the shooting techniques, which actually leads me to Robert Draper's cinematography. There are a lot of artistic choices here that I couldn't help but dig. Crane shots, upward angles, there's even a shot where Danielle Harris is writing on a wall and you can see through it to what she's writing. There's a lot of style here. Ready? Here's another shocker. I don't hate Tina. Shit, I've probably lost like 20 subs by now. Can't turn back now, right? Yes, her singing can be a little bit taxing, but it didn't make me outright hate the character. That being said, I do think that her character was thrust into a position that she had no business being in. That brings us, my friends, to a spoiler. A pretty massive one. If you've been subbed to the Cavern of Terror for a while, you know the deal. No spoilers. But this is a key point, and I really do feel like it needs to be discussed. So if you have not seen Halloween 5, mute this video until this little spoilers graphic goes away. They killed off Ellie Cornell's Rachel character way too early for my taste and the taste of a lot of others. As I said, by doing this, they thrust a character into a role she wasn't ready for. Personally, I think Wendy Kaplan is fantastic as Tina. If they had written her differently, I think she would have been more well received. Believe me, I understand what they're going for. Michael Myers killed Rachel, the hero of Halloween 4. That means that no one is safe. But in the end, that just didn't work. There wasn't enough character development for Tina. That killed this character's chance of being accepted by this series' fans to an understandable point. As I've said many times, film is subjective. You like what you like. My name is Zach, and I like Tina for who she is, even though she low-key should have been Lindsay Wallace. Danielle Harris didn't lose a step from Halloween 4, and she is absolutely amazing again. Throughout this film, she had to do a lot of physical acting, and she nailed it. So Dr. Loomis is back, and he is crazier than ever. Dr. Loomis has officially went off the deep end, people. I seriously have no idea how sane he truly is in this film. He certainly makes a lot of questionable decisions here, but damn is he a badass while he's doing it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Donald Pleasance is the man. Can we get serious for a minute? Yeah, it'll only take a minute. The cops in this movie are dumb. Yeah, we get it. The sound effects used in this film can fuck all the way off. It's just a stupid decision. Like, all the tension that they built in this film up until this point is all wiped away by these stupid sound effects. It's just, oh my god, what the... Moving on, let's talk about the shape. Don Shanks, who takes on the mantle of Michael Myers, is a presence. In my opinion, he's just as brutal as George P. Wilbur in Part 4 and then some. This is probably the most visceral Halloween yet. The kills are vicious. I'll tell you right now that Don Shanks is probably at his most menacing during the laundry chute scene. With more on this iconic scene, let's hand the reins over to Drum Dums.
What's up, guys? This is Zach's review of the Halloween franchise. I've been in the previous entries. Thank you for having me for each one of these. I'm having a lot of fun going back and talking about these. I've even did like full-on revisited reviews for this series. This was the first franchise I reviewed on my channel when I started, quite a few years ago. But happy to talk about Halloween anytime I can. Halloween 5 is one that's interesting to talk about. Very interesting to discuss because it's not a good movie. It's one of the worst in the franchise, but there is some stuff to talk about that's interesting. There are some really good scenes. I love the last act of this movie, actually. So the scene I'm going to talk about, I think, is the laundry chute scene. To me, this scene almost doesn't belong in this movie because it's so good, and the rest of the movie, or everything before this scene, is like really bad. So I don't know how they got here, but yeah, this scene is so good. It's in the Myers Mansion. I don't call the house from 5 the Myers house. I call it the Myers Mansion because it looks completely different than the rest of the franchise. But you know, this scene is so like terrifying. It's a real element of danger. You know, you got Jamie Lloyd stuck in this laundry chute, and she goes up the laundry chute, she goes down the laundry chute. She's really in grave danger. Myers is always there. Really, Myers is ahead of her. It's kind of a catch-22 scene. Like, how in the hell is she going to get out of this one? And it's so bad that once she does get out of it, she pretty much gives up. Like, she lies in a casket and she says, okay, I'm done. Here we go. But the scene is so crazy because you got Myers with his knife thrusting it into the laundry chute, and there's a real element of danger there. Even in reality, behind the scenes, he actually did stab Danielle Harris in the leg with that knife because it was a real knife. So Danielle Harris stated she would never do a scene like that again. It was just way too dangerous, and she didn't know enough to know any better back then, but it is a great scene. I'm all for actors being safe on movie sets, but like I said, that is a great freaking scene. So anyway, that is my thoughts, my memories of Halloween 5. If you want to check out my full revisited review, be sure to check it out at my page, Drum Dums. And Zach, thank you so much, brother. Back to you.
Big thanks go to Lee once again. We will hear from him again on Halloween 6. That's going to be fun. Springboarding off his thoughts, Halloween 5 has an amazing third act. It all culminates in this amazing cliffhanger ending that had me like, what? To me, this is the most Friday the 13th-ish of the Halloween films, because for the most part it follows the formula of a Friday film. This might be a controversial opinion, but think about it, guys. Other than Jamie's story, this film focuses on a bunch of kids that care about nothing but sex and partying, only for a killer to show up and ruin the fun. Honestly, I think that has to do with just how 80s this sequel is. The 80s were definitely a time of excess, and that's well on display here.
Cookie woman.
Okay guys, let's talk about the Cookie Woman scene. Cookie Woman! This was just ridiculous. I know this scene is extremely important to the plot, but it's really hard not to laugh during this scene. Cookie Woman! I'm sorry, but really, you couldn't come up with anything better than Cookie Woman? Really, Cookie Woman. Okay, let's get back on track and get serious. I know that a lot of people don't like the score in this film, but for me, I actually dig it quite a bit more than I should. The addition of drums was something that I didn't expect, but admittedly, I was pleasantly surprised. Don't be a hero, Billy! Okay, so much for being serious, but I am reviewing Halloween 5. So, in the end, guys, how do we rate this thing? I'm pretty split, dude. If you're an OG Halloween fan and you only like the original at its purest John Carpenter form, I would give this movie a meh, maybe borrow it from a friend. Now, if you're a little bit more flexible with your horror, I would give Halloween 5 a respectable, Hear me out, guys. This, in a way, was a pretty ballsy film by killing off a key character, but it struggles because they couldn't find their footing with their replacement. I believe, though, that they truly make up for this with a vicious Michael, great kills, and great technical filmmaking. That's gotta be 20 more subs gone. Alright guys, it has been my review of Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I like this movie. What do you guys think? Let me have it in the comments down below, because I know I'm gonna get it. If you're new to my channel and you want to see my review of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell. I know it's annoying, but if you don't hit it, you will not be notified about all of my future content. That includes my concluding review in my Insidious series reviews with Insidious Chapter 2. As always guys, I would appreciate it if you followed me on social media. You can find all those links in the description box down below. But most importantly guys, I'm Zach. This has been the Cavern of Terror. Stay metal, my friends.